And I like this right here. It says preparation happens in the pause. Mm-hmm. Preparation happens in the pause. It says use the latest sharpen your skills, build your discipline, and get your mind right. Now you put yourself.
Go ahead.
You done gave your all.
Yo.
And you feel like you got nothing in return to do it all over again because you want what you want.
And you're willing to do it until you get what you want.
Yeah, I want to. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Because here's the thing. Because people that get bit, oh, I ain't gonna do this no more. Oh, I'm not doing that. No, I'm good. But you want companionship. Man, I quit. I ain't doing it no more. But you want the business. Man, but you want the freedom. So the crazy part is, we put all this work into stuff. We put all this work into people, only to turn around and do it again with the possibility of getting hurt and frustrated again. Because what happens is when you get the marriage, when you get the relationship, it don't stop. Because you have to understand that everybody grows at different times, at different levels. Yeah. And so you have to be patient in the pause. So when they're doing their process and you may be processing a different way, can you have enough patience in the pause to allow them to go through their process?
The B2S podcast is brought to you by Motivated Apparel. Motivated Apparel, the premier gear for motivation. A brand that motivates, inspires, and empowers you to stay motivated while chasing your dreams. Head on over to www.shiftmotivations.com/shop Motivated Apparel and grab yourself some Motivated Apparel today.
What it do? Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blueprint to Success podcast. Once again, Blueprint Nation, stand up. We are excited and delighted to be joined together with you on tonight, on this midweek, on this Wednesday night hump day. Be back in the building once again. And once again, Blueprint Nation, we appreciate you guys. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and like and share as well. So y'all know how we like to go ahead and get this thing rolling. So this your boy Mike Mariner, a.k.a. the Shift Motivator. Once again, joined together with my co-host, my brother from another mother.
Yo.
Y'all give it up for Mr. Dumbo.
Yeah.
Mr. Like Me. Wrong room. In the building.
Yeah.
Y'all give it up for my brother Alxndr Hall, man.
Yo, what's good? You know what, bro? Every time we be starting, I always be seeing Dub checking himself out in the camera, bro. That'd be funny, bro.
No, I got it right there, right?
That'd be funny, bro. Yeah, but you know, trucking through the week, man. You know, we ain't heard. You know,
yep, we ain't heard.
They
got an accent down south from Florida, baby.
STL, unheard.
3-1-4. Y'all know what it is, man. You can't take him nowhere. Can't take him nowhere.
You be like, you got bird from Spirit. That's the first thing that came to mind.
Oh man. Once again, Blueprint Nation, man. Y'all know who this cat is. My right, your left. My brother from the same mother.
Big Bad.
Big Bad.
Yes.
Big Dub. Mr. Always got it.
Gotta
And
get
if I
it.
ain't got it, I go get it.
1,000%.
But most of the time, he always got it.
What's up?
Glory to glory.
Y'all give it up for Boy Wonda, man.
Yo, what's happening, man?
What's happening? Big week, man.
Yo, it's dope.
Holiday week.
Oh, man, the week was crazy. And then, boom! Yeah, that's it right there.
Hard copy.
Hard copies.
Yeah.
Hard copies. If you want a hard copy, autograph, things of that nature,
Yeah.
I'll let you, boy.
Oh, don't forget when we get ready to end the show, man, because I keep forgetting to put the video at the end of the video.
Ah, the
so
squad.
we forget to talk about it.
I
So
got you.
don't forget us to talk about that before we
Yeah.
end that, so I can slap it on the behind.
I I got you.
Blueprint Nation, we got you.
Yeah.
Hey, John Slap too.
So, these just came in this past week, so the quality, everything, I love it. I just love it. My
So,
boy,
what made
executive
y'all want to
producer.
do that, man? When CDs are kind of obsolete right now.
Bro, this is for me.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I do every project. I don't care how obsolete this is gonna be. And even at my shows, people still buy the CDs because it's more of a memorabilia.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's more of a moment of memory that they can remember
Yeah.
each time they visit. You know what I'm saying? So I always do this for me.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
care how obsolete this is. You know what I'm saying? Like I already got my plaque. I'm gonna print this the colors of the background of this.
Mhm.
I'm gonna put in my plaque, and then I'm gonna have the CD kind of halfway out and halfway.
Oh, okay.
with
Got
the,
what you're saying.
and then I'm gonna hang it up in the studio. It's just
You do each album like that?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and it's for me.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
ain't to be caught up in them obsolete. Yeah, that's cool. It's still working for me. So, but ultimately, I do this because this is God's idea that He dropped into me. That's realistic.
Mhm.
So it's like my dedication to myself and commitment that I completed something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
To the full extent, and like now it's tangible. It's real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna do that every project. Every project.
This was happening.
And I appreciate you too, man, because he had reached out to me like months prior.
Mhm.
He was like, bro, I want you to, he said, I'm going to ask you can be one of the executive producers on the record. I was like, he said, you ain't got to answer right now. He said, I know you got stuff going on. Just let me know what you got going on.
Mm.
I said, all right. So like a week later, I came to the crib, but he played a record. And we just brought in some concepts.
Mhm.
He was like, then he was like, when Doug be high, he be high. He was like, someone. he was like, so bro, you thought about it? I said, yeah, I got you, bro. So then,
No
I got
pressure.
What you got on my folder, homie?
Yeah,
You gonna eat that
Yeah.
cornbread?
Huh?
yeah. So ever since after then, we've been just lapped up on it. So I
Yeah.
appreciate that, yo.
Facts,
Yeah.
bro. Like we had plenty of conversations, man. Like
Mhm.
I value your expertise and your insight when it comes to music. You're a beast.
Yeah, I
So
appreciate it.
and I was like, man, it's my brother too. So it's like, what better way than to collaborate and really bring a dope piece of work that like God just dropped on me like a drop of a dime. So I'm like, okay. I was like, well, at least he gave me a year. You know what I'm saying? With everything that was going on. So, but it man, just to be able to see the process of it and just going back and forth and then like, bro, what you think about this record? What can I do better? This, that, and the third. So, like, I had him and Rick through the whole process
Yeah.
of this EP. So
Yeah, shouts out to Rick Reed. He's a
he's a beast.
Yeah. I call it R. Kelly gospel.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
he's
I told
Yes.
I said, bro, you the R. Kelly. But
Seriously.
talent ain't even a word.
he's
He's just different.
He's a monster
Yeah.
songwriter, bro. Like he's
He's
crazy.
a musical genius,
Yeah,
bro.
He's so musically
He's
inclined.
crazy with it, bro.
I was talking with him the other day. We was laughing and joking. I was like, bro, when you putting out an R&B album, like literally a Christian R&B album, like I said, cause bro, your sound is unique. It's definitely needed.
Mhm.
And then it's just like the records he played me, bro. That's in the vault. Yeah. I said, bro, you can do a rapping album and an R&B album. You can do it like just half and half. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was just like, bro, like, yeah, we need that ASAP. Bro, he got so much music, bro.
Yeah.
So much music. I just thank God that because he could have went anywhere, man. Like I said, bro, why did you come over here? I was like, man, and what you were talking about with the mentorship, it's the brotherhood.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I feel like
Yeah.
I'm home. It's not always business. It's actually a relationship. So this what made me this my home.
Yeah.
He riding till the wheels fall off. So it's and he learning at the same time. We learning, teaching each other, like learning within the mixing and everything. So he's a beast, man. Grateful for everybody here.
Yeah.
Because everybody here had a process and a hand in this. So thank y'all. 'Cause, you know, between these two, these are my outside ears. You know what I'm saying? Broski more like the consumer, and he's been picking up musically over the years. So it's like he knows quality. So I was like,
Well,
bro,
I mean,
what you think?
We grew up in it, so
Yeah,
that's what Pop did. So it's in
look
the
what happened.
bloodline.
It's in the bloodline, literally.
Ain't got to be a musician to be musically inclined.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I still got a CD in my car. So yeah, I'm gonna be popping that on the way home.
Yeah, and we still got visuals coming too, so we just getting everything together and just keeping an eye there. Still, I got lines drawn, like a video. I got to finish editing it, so
yeah.
just really just putting this out in the sense of I'm really intentional. So it's more of like not rushing anything, just to put out, just to have something. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it's thought processes through this. It's actual what does the treatment look like? You know what I'm saying? It's different. It's been like that since the Black Sheep.
Mm-hmm.
Cause that's when I really start thinking like that. You know what I mean? And then Life After Death, it just made it that much more vibrant.
So any favorites coming through? What the people say? What the people say?
I'm still getting those, but for the most part, All Right. A lot of people like All Right record.
Yeah.
They love the I Remember, of course. That's a given.
That was.
But All Right has been like one of the faves. And shout out to also the Agape Music Group, because they've been sending that record out to different stations and different places too. So I had somebody tag me and it was just like, this All Right record with the Agape Music Group. I was like, okay, so I want to try to get some like one verse hook visuals with them too whenever we be in the area too. So
Yeah.
I know their schedule be crazy. You know, they got family too, so and they work at the same time. So, but for the most part, All Right. I remember Job Season. That's becoming a favorite of some people just from the raw emotion and I remember when bro was like, "Hey, I said, it'd be good. I think you good with the one verse." I said, "No, they gotta hear the second verse."
Yeah.
This is the only time I'm fucking the system.
Yeah. So I said,
This is personal.
yeah, I said, I'm one of the executive producers, but he the executive. He's like, nah, bro, we ain't doing that. I said, okay, do your thing, big dog.
Hey, I'm cool.
Yeah, I'm cool. I can do your thing.
Oh, but they finna get this work.
I needed to get that out, bro.
I was just
I gotta
saying,
get this on my chest.
the first verse was so fire and how everything was like, man, they don't even need no second verse, really. You just cut it right here. He was like, nah, bro. That's how I be though. Some this stuff be music is therapeutic, it's personal. You know what I mean?
Bro.
So yeah.
It really is. Nope. No, they got to go.
No, sir, I don't like.
So what you say? How I did Brodowski, what it is?
Brodowski.
I got Brodowski real quick, like.
I like. What's that dude? He I forgot what the guy name is. Aaron Diploma. That's who it is.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the social media dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. he just be fast, but you might want to trademark that.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He funny.
He funny, yeah.
He really is, bro. He is literally.
He a trip, dog. But he done calmed down since he done got with this Muslim dude, though.
Mm-hmm.
But he actually like doing boxing, like he just like dude like fight off the rip. Plus he don't be on social media that much. Like dude be ready to throw hands. Like you look at him wrong, he ready to throw hands.
Here's another Mike Tyson, just an adult version.
Yeah.
When Tyson was a kid.
So he done got with this Muslim guy that's a trainer.
Mhm.
He a dope. Like I just learned out about him. Like he pretty dope trainer. So he done kind of got him. He got him right, boy. He done dropped about 20 pounds.
Mhm.
Don't even look like it. He just ripped and big.
Yeah.
And he still got the
cut.
muscle. He ain't like big, but he cut. Like he done dropped 20 pounds. Like God, dog.
Mm-hmm.
People know what they're doing. That's what it is.
Yeah. It's just knowing your body and learning your body, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
And I was telling him, just trying to figure out my times with intermittent fasting and things of that nature, and just seeing how that works. You know what I mean? What even with your blood type, knowing what your blood type is, so you can know, how to. You can't fight what you don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You can't change what you don't know. So
Yeah.
it's been good, man. It's time for a change.
Yeah. 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 So yeah. Well, cool. With that being said, man, I guess we'll just go ahead and dive into tonight's episode, man. You just ever had that feeling of going after something, whether it's a dream, whether it's a goal, with a certain project or whatever it is, and it just seemed like it just don't never work out right. You know what I'm saying? It just get to the point that no matter what you trying to be consistent, it's like no matter what, the door just ain't open and the deals ain't falling through.
Mm-hmm.
The relationship ain't hitting like it's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So, we're just gonna talk a little bit about delayed but not denied on tonight. That's what we kind of hit, which is a good piggyback off what we did last week.
Yeah.
So when doors close, how to pivot with purpose. So make sure you go check that one out because it's kind of like a good piggyback off of that right there. So I know I ain't the only one,
Right.
but and even like right now, you're still waiting on some things to come through. And I started off with this. It's a guy that I follow. He's in the motivational space. Brad Butler II. Shout out to Brad B. But he kind of went off a little bit, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
Just talking about it's a lot of stuff going on with this administration, man. We're not getting into politics, but it's a lot of things that's going on that's affecting a lot of people, especially in the education space, which is where I'm at. With the speaking and stuff like that. So he was just kind of sharing how it's like, it's a lot of money being like froze right now. So it's kind of like for speakers, it's kind of like you can either panic or pivot. So it's kind of like finding out your niche. But he was like, but if you the individual that's like really just like throwing in the towel, then this really wasn't your purpose in the first place.
Right.
Because he said regardless of whether you're getting paid or whether you're not getting paid, you should still be able to go in and impact your community in some way. He said, now you may not be able to do everything for exactly free. I get it. You got family, you got kids to feed. He said, I get it. He said, but to completely just shut everything out and just no impact, he said, that's wrong.
Yeah.
That's dead wrong. He said, so you would never call it this in the first place. And I was like, I thought that was kind of be fitting, kind of throw that in there because what are you doing in that waiting period? You know what I'm saying? Is you feel called to it. You feel that it's purpose, but it just ain't happening in the way that you thought it was gonna happen or you wanted it to happen.
Right.
And even like with when you start a new position, you got a 90-day waiting period. You got 90 days
probation period.
We gonna test you out. And, if it ain't working, we gonna move on. But we never. But the crazy thing about it though, we never look at it on the opposite side either.
Right.
Well, I'm giving you 90 days because if I don't like your job, I'm out. I just thought about that. We don't ever think about it that way. You might not say it out loud, but in your mind, you got 90 days too because if I don't like it, I'm out. But
seeing them on 90 seconds.
90 days, I'm going in 30. Oh, shoot, I'm more likely, boy. If it's really that bad, I'm be like, Jesus, boy, I'm out in 3. I'm going to raise somebody.
You stupid.
Like what so say about to get up out of that grave.
You stupid.
Get up out of that grave.
Get up. Get out
of that grave. More like get up out of that craze.
Oh man. Oh man. But sometimes a lot of times, like we said in the last episode, rejection ain't final.
Right.
And so sometimes we just got to move a different way, and it's just finding ways to keep your sanity in the process. And I always say, praise God in the hallway, even while you're waiting for the doors to open, praise Him in the hallway. That was an old saying. I forgot where I heard that from some years back. So, but that's what we're gonna talk about tonight. So I figured I'd intro it that way, man. Just throw it out there on the table, see what y'all want to add in the 2 cents before we start getting into the notes, stuff like that.
Definitely, because we're in a space to where it's oversaturated.
Oh yeah.
So if anybody knows, dog, what are we doing in Mama where it seems like music is just so saturated? It's just so filled, just like you can cause yourself to miss out on something grand because you're looking at what it's not going to be. Because you don't see a position or a spot fitting for you and your type of music that you make. So to help with that, man, one of the key things is obedience and being obedient what God is leading you to do and to act upon it, even if it doesn't make logical sense in your mind, because it's different. It's not what you would normally do, right? Which is good, because you don't always want to just follow through with what you do. You want to have different people who have wisdom, understanding in the marketplace of whatever you're doing to get more attraction to what you're trying to present. So for me, one of my processes is when it comes to music, I don't even listen to music. Like far as when I'm in my process of creating a project, even just singles musically, I don't listen to music purposely in that space because I don't want to copy or mimic. Because I remember with the to be specific, New Levels record, right? There was a certain record out there that I was just like, same melody, everything. And then it dawned on me, I'm like, oh snap, this record came out like X amount of years ago. I can't do that. I got to switch up. And I'm trying to get copyrighted, sued and get a copyright strike for that. So I had to come up with a creative idea to where when I chopped with Rick, I was just like, bro, this one bad. He's like, bro, you ever thought about saying it like this or do it like this and then add this? So understanding that when I do these processes or with music, when I don't listen to music, I just zone in. I focus on what I'm trying to present versus what's already out there, and what I feel like is you put more pressure on yourself than you need to, because one, you're trying to keep up with a trend versus being honest and transparent with where you are in your season, because all you seeing is everybody putting out hype music. You know what I'm saying? But you're in a place where it's just like, man, I ain't even in that space. I want to present this. So for me, when you're dealing with different spaces, when you're dealing with different characters, when you're dealing with different people, you can't move on what you're seeing, because if you do, you won't last. If you're just going off of trends, because this is the hot next thing, when Uzi Vert came out with his record, everybody was on that. Not everybody making that type of music. When such and such came out with this type of drill music, everybody was gunning to that. So it's just like, that's not me. I can't just up and run a jump because it's something that's hot and it's new. And it's just like you're also with us, we have an advantage to a degree. We have an advantage with the Holy Spirit. But it's to the point where we can't learn from people and that may not walk our path or the walk that we walk. So you get what you can, you eat the meat, you spit out the bones. So when I look at delayed, not denied, I look at what am I trying to learn in this season, and I look at, okay, God, my no could also be my next. So the no right now could be just like, yeah, I'm cool with it. I've done got so comfortable with being able to be comfortable with, okay, well, it's not the time, it's not the season. And then I learned further down the road why it wasn't the time of the season. I was not prepared at all with everything that was going on mentally, just drained, just couldn't even, I wouldn't even be able to put my best foot forward if I would have went through something that I felt like I was ready for that I wasn't. So when you understand delayed, it's just not yet. That's it. It's nothing deeper. It's nothing more than that. It's just not yet. But in the moment of the not yet, keep preparing, Keep educating yourself. Keep learning your field and what you're in. Be like, and I feel you have to be. You have to look out for like the far advanced. What does the future look like? The industry is heading into. Because if you fall into that pit, you're gonna be like, well, like for me, I'm cool if I never hit the big stages. I'm cool with God using me where I am because I know that's where He has me and be. And if that door opens, I'm gonna walk in it because it's meant for me to walk in it. But I'm not gonna be hung up on it because and feel like my life has to come to a screeching halt because of a moment that didn't happen at the time I thought it should happen. Doesn't you don't even know if you're ready or not. You just don't, and it will reveal yourself. It will reveal itself through your behaviors. How do you move? Like one of the things that you know you're called to, you do it even when you don't feel like it. That's one of the secrets. You do it when you don't feel like it. You do it when all hell is breaking loose. And it's like when you do it in the moment that you do it when you don't want to do it, you'll find a confidence in that moment to be like, wow, I see what was trying to distract me and keep me from moving into the not yet, but my next. And it's making baby steps into those stages and learning yourself, learning how to advance, learning all that you can to put your best foot forward, to put you in the best position possible. So when that time, when that delayed and now you're into the not denied, it's access granted, you're good because now you went through all the proper steps. You've broken down everything you needed to. You exhausted everything possible to get to the best place and to get the best results. So for me, I just look at I do the music that I feel like I'm not doing just because to be a trendsetter. I'm doing music what I feel like this is what's need to be created in this time and this moment. And if it doesn't sound like that, I'm cool with it. I'd rather be comfortable in my own skin and be comfortable with where I'm at and where I'm going. Because one, I trust the process, and two, I trust him leading me through the process. So, what do we do when we feel like we've been delayed? What do we do? What are your habits? What do you run to that causes and prolong the not denied? Like, so what do you guys in the moment felt like? What was your
Hold on,
not?
before you answer that question, so I'm gonna shift over to bro over here.
So the question was, what do I do in the middle of being delayed, right? Basically.
Basically, yeah.
So, excuse me. So, what? What's so funny?
Because we know the setup. It's about to go down. We poked the bear.
No, this is something that, for one, I think it was Albert Einstein who said, insanity is doing the same thing and then expecting different results, right? So, so now that, right? So for me, like once you catch on, to those things that was keeping you held back, like keeping you on level 3. Once you catch on, like, I see now, right? So now, God is requiring me to shift what I do in my delayed time. Because what you do in your delayed time will delay you. If you don't properly prepare your delayed time, when the time comes, you will be more delayed.
Yeah.
That's how it works. You ever been driving, traveling, and pull over and go to the bathroom?
Yep.
It throw everything off. It was like, I was going to be there in an hour and 30 minutes. Now it's 2 hours and 45 minutes. I don't know how, you know what I'm saying? I was in the bathroom for 15 minutes. I don't know how, you know.
Time don't be timing.
Right. So now what's required of me, now this is just me, right? Now what's required of me in that time of my delay, I do what you said earlier. when we first started the podcast, how you got your CD, and every record that you make, you get a plaque and you put it on the wall. You do it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You do it for yourself. Now, God is requiring me to, in my delay time, what are you doing for yourself?
Mm-hmm.
What are you really doing for yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Are you being accountable to yourself?
Mm-hmm.
If you said you're gonna get up at 4 a.m. like this morning, I got up at 4:30 to hit the gym. If you say you're gonna get up at 4:30 and hit the gym,
Mm-hmm.
are you gonna do it or are you gonna lie to yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Like what are you doing? Like, are you gonna be a good steward over your finances for yourself? Are you gonna what are you doing for yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Before we even get to what you want on the other side, and before we even get to what you think was holding you back, let's deal with you real quick.
Facts.
Let's deal with you in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So we can break down where you're at so you can know what you really need to do in that.
Mm-hmm.
So in the moments of the waiting time, I'm not focusing on nothing but myself.
Mm-hmm.
Making sure that whatever move I'm making, I'm attaching it to where I need to be and not attaching myself to somebody else's dream. Solely focused on their dream.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, I'm not attaching my heart to a person who really don't want my heart there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So locking in on where I'm supposed to be at in that time. Not worried about the next step. Not worried about where I just came from. Let me lock in right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 1,000% requirement.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So in our waiting time, it's like a training ground.
Mm-hmm.
It's a training ground. I'm breaking my
No, I'm just like I go. You leading right the way I'm going.
Yeah, it's a training ground. I'm allowing God to break me down, just like they do the soldiers.
Yeah.
They sit them way out.
Mm-hmm.
Now they can get cell phones. They can call every now and then, but they sit them way out. Strip you down. Let me program you to this field of where you're heading.
Mm-hmm.
So God, if my mind wasn't ready for where I'm going, then let me get reprogrammed. If my grind wasn't ready for where I'm going, let me get reprogrammed.
Mm-hmm.
If my heart had some stuff that was not right, bro, I had to today. I didn't ask. Yes, I did. I asked God to forgive me today. Broke me down before God broke me completely down. I asked God to forgive me today if I have made relationships an idol in my life. Let me deprogram and get built back up how I'm supposed to. So where I'm going, because obviously where I'm going, I need to be built a certain type of way. So before I worry about what has been delayed and what may cause me a delay, I'm here now, God. So let's strip me down, and then let's get rebuilt back up. That's what God is requiring me in this time. I can't speak for everybody else, but I guarantee, if you start with you, there's no room for nobody else. You got to do it for yourself. You got to figure out, what do I need to do right now? Because I guarantee you, once you figure out what you need to do right now and where you're at the moment, what caused you to be delayed, it won't happen again. And wherever you're supposed to be at, what you was delayed from, you will be ready now. But that's where I started at. I start with myself. Now I start myself. It's not their fault. It's not her fault. It's not his fault. It's not Trump's fault. Oh my God! Everything is not Trump's fault. Everything is not your job fault. Maybe it's your fault. Maybe it's your fault. How many times you been late? If you get paid this amount of money, why you spending over? It ain't their fault. What about your fault? So everything ain't about it. Accountability. Let me start with me. Let me be accountable for me. And whatever that's out of my control, God will fight it.
Mm-hmm.
He will handle it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't fight everything. I can't handle everything. I'm not supposed to be carrying everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand now I'm not responsible for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Your breakthrough was not my job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not Jesus.
There's
I'm
a
not.
distinction.
You know what I'm saying? So let me
Right,
just start with me, then we can go where we need to go at. But if you don't start with you, you won't know what's been hindering you, and you won't be ready for where God's trying to take you at if you don't start with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's just me having me start with me. Look at myself in the mirror. What are you doing? Everybody complaining about, oh, they lying, they faking. When you lying to yourself every day. You cheating on yourself every day.
Mm-hmm.
You being disloyal to yourself every day.
Mm-hmm.
You're not committed to nothing that you say. So how in the world you expect somebody else to be committed to? No, it don't work.
Mm-hmm.
Let me start with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can get there. Because guess what? If you start with yourself on the other side, then you can understand what you tolerate and what you don't tolerate.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know how to put yourself out in a manner? You teach people how to treat you. Because if you don't, a person will treat you how they want. No. We're not going for that.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't even, if I want to go somewhere and be somewhere, I can't treat myself how I want.
Right.
I didn't pay for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I was bought. Therefore, I have to act like I was. I don't belong to myself.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know who you belong to, you have to strive. You have to work to believe and walk in who you belong to.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta start. I'm just now starting with myself. And when he was like, I put the plaques on the wall, that jump, and made my inside smile because I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at a place where now to where I'm gonna do it for myself now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I'm not gonna be open and give. I'm just saying that if I do it for myself, I'm gonna be whole.
Mm-hmm.
So when you run across me, I'm not giving you partial.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving you a complete person. I'm not perfect, but I'm giving you a complete person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I just do it for myself. I start with me, and then I go there. You feel me?
That's good. That's good. Yes, before I slide back over it, I was laughing because it's kind of sliding right where I was going. I kind of skipping around on my notes here based upon how the conversation going. So, and I like this right here. It says preparation happens in the pause.
Mm-hmm.
Preparation happens in the pause. It says use the delay to sharpen your skills, build your discipline, and get your mind right. And I was talking with somebody actually, was it last week I want to say, or the week before prior, and we just talking about like different stuff, and I forgot how we even got on the subject, but I had talked about like when the pandemic came, like everybody was like freaking out. Right. I say like this is God's anointing on my life. I say I'm an introvert by nature. I say I'm fine by myself, to be honest with you, but I just when I'm around people, it's just a different part of me comes out. Right. So I say, but during that pandemic, the time of the pandemic, I said, man, I was straight, bro. I said, bro, I wrote my book. My next book came out of the pandemic. I said, while people panicking and complaining why they can't do this, they can't go here, they can't. I said, man, I locked in and wrote a book, dog. You know what I'm saying? And me preparing to go somewhere where I didn't even know where I was going, because had I not written that book during that time, some of the gigs I got wouldn't have been able to get, because that book was opened up the door. Because sometimes it serves as a tool, and that's why I always encourage like people, like especially speakers. I say you need to write a book. I said because I've seen firsthand where sometimes it opened up those opportunity to where you can kind of finagle your way in by your literature. I said, but then also sometimes your book is going to go where your voice can't. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you look at that preparation that happens in the pause, it's in that moment that you have to take advantage of the opportunity within them. What E.T. said it's a lifetime in the opportunity, and it's an opportunity at a lifetime. You know, regardless of how bad the situation, even like just think about some things that I'm waiting on. It's like picking back off Alexander. It's like I'm looking at myself as a some might be say old '67 classic. You know what I'm saying? I'm buying the old classic of ripping everything out from the rooter to the tutor, so to speak, getting it all custom made, and then that takes time. It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of resources. It takes a lot of patience. But when it's done, it's like, man, but the value of that car goes up 10, 20 times from what you bought it from. You know what I'm saying? So it's like your value goes up in that time. You got to look at it that way. Like, what is happening in that pause?
Yes.
Am I constantly complaining about where I'm not? Or am I taking the opportunity of, like E.T. said, am I taking the opportunity in that lifetime, because there's that loss, that frustration is only a moment in time. But what are you getting even out of that in that moment in time? You know what I'm saying? So are you learning from the lessons in that loss? What's going on during that time? So it's like those would be the most precious moments that can come out of you, that can make you and set you up for that. It's like you're alley-ooping yourself to the next level. But if you constantly complaining about you ain't getting the ball, then guess what? When the opportunity comes and old boy turn his head and all you got to do is flash across that baseline, but you ain't ready, then you just fumble the bag. And I told the kids, I told them, I said, can you lead when you ain't got the ball in your hand?
Facts.
Because a lot of times it kills me, bro. These kids, I said, boy, y'all couldn't have lasted in our era of basketball. I swear. I said, we would eat y'all up. You know what I'm saying? I said, if I could go back and get my boys, and we can go back to being 18, 16, 17 years old and play y'all wouldn't stand a chance. I say, because number one, your IQ ain't there. And then number two, you're trying to do too much. You got the ball, you're trying to go through the legs, you're trying to do all this stuff. Man, we took your ball, we went down the court 5 minutes ago. you been trying to figure out what happened. Because we was different. Like we was different, bro. And but you use those opportunities as lessons. And I was telling them, can you lead when you don't have the ball in your hand? And I said, I talked about that in my book. I said, because when Jordan, when they went on that second three-peat, when Jordan, and I think it didn't even come out till I think the documentary that came out. I think that's when it came out. Nobody would never. Everybody just knew John Paxson made the winning shot. Everybody just knew John, but nobody knew the story behind that. So when they told the story behind that, so they're in the huddle, and Jordan was like, "Hey, you know what's gonna happen? So we gonna inbound the ball. Everybody go towards me. You need to be open." It wasn't like he did. So, like I said, until then, we just thought the normal. Everybody gonna crowd Jordan. He gonna shoot the shot. No, he didn't shoot the shot. He didn't force the shot. He threw the ball open to a wide open John Paxson, and John Paxson did what he do. He knocked it down. They don't won the championship. Can you leave with the ball in? What can you do when nothing's going on? What are you doing? That is almost like the most important part of the lesson is what are you doing when nothing's going on?
Man, you know what?
It is.
I found this out recently because I'm an introvert too, and I didn't know how introverted I was. Right? I we similar like when I get around people, you
do what it do.
I do what it do.
Right.
But like if it's a large hospital, I'm like Dub. Like it was us, you know what I'm saying? But I can't go nowhere. I can't go nowhere. Like everybody, I can't go. Everybody at the hospital know, but basically kind of know who I am. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But also, I can't go nowhere and do nothing either. So that's a good thing about having your face clean and actually is being clean. So I'm not trying to do nothing stupid. So I can go everywhere and be straight.
Yeah.
Right. So
the B2S podcast is brought to you by No Grind, No Glory Apparel, R8 28 edition. It's a reminder to stay strong, to be courageous, to stop your fears, and to feed your faith. Even when it feels like everything is falling apart, just know that you were born to stand out and make an impact. Head over exclusively to www.nogrindnoglory.net and grab you some merch as a daily reminder that all things work together.
Bruh, I just recently found out that I'm highly introverted. So when you're talking about especially when you go through trauma and stuff like that,
Oh,
Yeah.
and it takes time to heal and rebuild,
Right.
and
right.
you in that delayed space.
Right. Right.
I found out that a lot of people don't know how to carry relationships.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, especially men, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you have a friendship or a relationship, most people, they want you to hurry up your process so you can get back to being available to fit their need in their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It don't work that way.
Right.
Sorry, it don't.
Say that again for the people in the back.
It don't work that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what you can't do in that waiting period is don't let nobody rush your process.
Yeah.
That's it.
Bro, I got homies, I got 15, 10, 20-year relationships under my belt with guys.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it been 5 years. I'm the one who reaching out. Cause it's like every other month they going through something. He get locked up, he come out, he got a baby, it's something he got shot, we gotta go handle it. It's something going on. I got a homie right now doing a 10-year bid.
Mm-hmm.
I do most of the reaching out for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
He called me when he whoop the whoop, you know what I'm saying? We writing back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
So you mean to tell me if I'm going through something, you can't hold it down for a few months? Bro, I'm the only one calling you.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, that's not how it work. You're not finna bulldoze my emotional process. It's not going down. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You just not. You just not. You just not finna bulldoze. You know.
You're not fit to bulldog. Nothing
So
over here.
you can't let nobody rush your like. So everybody talk about Israel when they was in the desert 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they were roaming around in the same spot for 40 years. But on the flip side of that, it was something that they got from those 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
They could have moved quicker than 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
But also, they could have been longer than 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, how it was set up, it was supposed to be quicker, but it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Moses wasn't like, what y'all got going on? No, we ain't moving till we get it right.
Mm-hmm.
Period. So don't let nobody rush you from your spot.
Mm-hmm.
And if they walk away while you're in your spot because they have to do a little more to a relationship, then they're probably not meant to be there long term.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, and that's crazy. You went there because, like,
real.
I mean, that's the climate we're in right now. It's crazy. Blueprint Nation, I want y'all to understand something. There's a war going on, and I hope y'all see it. I mean, it's beyond the spiritual war. It's beyond the natural war, right? It's inclusive of both. But then you look at the war of the male and female. You know, Alexandra just hit the nail on the head. Like you know what I'm saying? It's like this climate that we're in is like, and I just be thinking, I was like, I know you can't go back in time, but I'd be like, man, I wish I could just go back in time, where people cared about each other, where relationships actually meant something, where it meant to meet someone and you build something together. I didn't have to come already assembled. You know what I'm saying? I even look at like back then, like you bought a bicycle, you had to assemble it most of the time.
Yep.
You know, now it's like you be able to see a box in the stores, unless it's one of those little scooters or tricycle looking things. You know what I'm saying? But when you go into the bicycle department, they're already up, unless they got boxes in the back. Now I'm not, you know, I'm just to cover that. I'm not sure, but just look, but you know, but it's always when you bought something back in our day. Of you know, because you know we couldn't afford a lot of stuff. So when you got something special, a lot of time it was big, and it had to be assembled. So and on the box says assembly necessary. So it's like nobody wants to go into the relationship and build. You know, they no assembly. They want everything, no assembly necessary. They want everything just come in. You know, we good. Like you don't. But and it's funny because I got into a conversation while I was at the camp, and camp went well. It just we had a wonderful time, 3 days of leadership development with the kids, and one of the huddle leaders, we just got into a conversation while we was during dinner time.
Yeah.
And young kid, you know what I'm saying? And so they only been married 6-7 months, I think he said.
Okay.
So newlywed. So we just chopping it up, man. And I was saying, you know what? I say, I there were times where, and I had a vision a couple weeks ago of me and mom. It's like we were at the kitchen just having a conversation. And what kind of shifted it that way was I was in a conversation. I don't know who I was talking to, and we was talking about decisions and stuff like that. And I remember Mama would always be like, "No, you can't go. No, you can't go today." But I ain't doing nothing. So it's like these kids today could not exist in our back, and just like they would say, "Well, y'all couldn't exist in my time." So everything had a purpose.
Squirming.
But so it was like, so I can be, we had a close knit family. So we was within a few blocks of most of our family cousins. So our cousins, we grew up like brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be like, hey, can I go hang out, our tea house, whatever. Well, you just went over there yesterday. I know that was yesterday, this today. So, and then she would just say no. I'm like, man. And then I was telling her, I didn't, and it was like during that conversation with whoever I was with, it's like I literally had a vision. And it was like the spirit hit me. It was like, that makes sense. She was training you and you didn't even know it.
Yep.
Because the resilience that you see today wouldn't have been had I not gone through some of the stuff I went through, not only as an adult, but even as a child. The no just because. And I said, that's what I did with my daughters.
Yep.
I say, even though I could, and I said, that's what we go wrong as parents. Because even my generation of parents, is because they didn't like some of the things that their parent did, so they vowed not to do that to their kid, but you're spoiling them.
Yep.
You're spoiling them, and you're not teaching them nothing, and that's why that's why there's chaos in the school system, because nobody has any restraint. You know what I'm saying? Because when it doesn't happen my way, when I want it my way, now I'm finna act out. And in my acting out, I may cause injury and harm to somebody else as well as myself. So now created this whirlwind of a problem that the world has to deal with because you didn't want to discipline your child. And so what happens is I would tell them no, even though I had the power to do it. But not knowing what mom was doing, I knew what I was doing. I want to see how you respond to adversity before you get out there in the real world. Because the real world ain't gonna hand you everything that you want when you want it, how you want it. This ain't Burger King, you can't have it your way. So when I'm able to throw that adversity intentionally in their way, so now as a father, I get to see how they respond. And if I don't like how they respond, now I got time to train them. But if I'm constantly saying, nah, I don't like when mama did this, I didn't like when daddy did that, so I'm not gonna do that to my kid. But it made you who you are. Yeah. Because you're able to withstand stuff that they can't because they put you through the ringer. So there was preparation in the pause. So that was your pause. But you want to take the pause away from your kid. You want to take the pause away from your spouse.
Hey, bro, what's the
What's that?
Look at that real quick. I think it's in Proverbs. It says something along the lines of, fact check me.
Okay.
I'm a person with no restraints, like a city without walls, or something like that.
Yeah. I remember we talked. Yeah.
The Proverbs.
Yeah.
That's talking about that. Like,
yeah. So in a sense, that's like a pause. So even whether a delay is done intentionally or unintentionally, like bro said, what are we doing in the middle of it?
Mm-hmm.
How are we developing? Are you developing another skill? I'm telling you right now, because I've been praying, I've been asking God, like, okay, what do I need to prepare for other than what we already know what to prepare for?
Right.
So that's the benefit of being a part of an apostolic and prophetic ministry. So with everything that's going on, outside of that, but it's like everything is shifting. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Even listening to Brad's message this morning, I'm like, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of things going on in the education market. Maybe I need to kind of, shift gears somewhere. So, so I got some things that I'm dealing with, just going through. But it's like, in this pause is like, how am I gonna manage this? Because how I manage this is going to determine how I come out.
Bro, another thing that I do in the pause too is rest. Bro, today, my mind, it was just tense for some reason. And scripture talks about how, fact check me, dog, about how when you don't have the words to pray, I don't know what to say, the Holy Spirit.
The Holy Spirit make an intercession for you on your behalf.
Bro, went the day, just felt so heavy. Before I came, I'm in the room, knelt down by the bed. I'm in prayer. I'm in prayer position. I'm on my knees. Posture. You know what I'm saying? I'm in posture. Next thing you know, that verse pop in my head. Everything. Cause I feel like I couldn't even say nothing. It's like, you know, those moments when you have so much to say, so you just don't know where to start. There's so much stuff going on. I don't even know where to start. I don't know what to talk about this, talk about that. And next thing you know, stuff start coming off, stuff start peeling off. And then scripture came to me about those who are burdened and weary, come to me. You know what I'm saying? That came. I just broke.
And I will give you rest.
I would give you rest, bro. I would give you rest. But my mind just leveled out. My heart just leveled out in that moment. So
right.
In that waiting period, that waiting time, it's really a restoration time.
Right.
It is.
Scripture talking about where you have times to where you don't plant for this, you don't till ground for this time. It's a reason for that. The ground need rest. Let it breathe. Y'all trying to work it and dog it, and then no. It don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? So in that period of time too, get that rest time, get that me time. The people who, I don't know why I'm so gung ho on this. Don't let nobody rush your process, your healing process, because when you're,
you got to hear properly. You got
Bruh.
to hear properly.
do you know how it feel to pour your heart out to something, or to somebody, or to something, 100%, and then they now want it at the end of it?
To get nothing in return, boy, that's bruh. That's
It
the story of
changes.
life.
So
Yep.
I done open myself up freely. I'm an introvert, so I done let you all. This is why you have to know your people. And pilots, people who don't go, they don't understand this. They quick, they brush it off. No, but I can't brush stuff off. I'm a deep processor.
Yeah, that you are.
Same.
Yeah, because we know I'm the same way.
I'm a deep processor. So most people, and I'm not tooting whatever, but most people who are quote unquote intellectual, they don't just skim across. I'm straight. All right, solve the problem. No. We go through the whole problem. We talk to the math teacher.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Who wrote the book on this problem? Like, you know what I'm saying? So when you processing all that stuff, when you let yourself completely open and you gut everything out, and they take it and do this and be like, I ain't really want it. I don't want it. I'm good. I don't really want it. But you want me to call you every week? Bro.
Boundaries.
Bro, let me no. I need call and check on me, cause I didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm telling you.
bro,
I mean, I got ghosts.
I just call you. I call you all the time. Bro, you don't know. I didn't. Nah. I'm an introvert, dog. It's different.
Yeah.
I done pour up myself. It's different. Like you gotta know your people and know where you at. So, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when.
But here's the crazy part, though, dog. Now you put yourself.
Go ahead.
You done gave your all,
Yep.
and you feel like you got nothing in return. To do it all over again. Because you want what you want.
and you're willing to do it until you get what you want.
Yeah, I want to. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Because here's the thing. Because people that get bit, oh, I ain't gonna do this no more. Oh, I'm not doing that. No, I'm good. But you want companionship. Man, I quit. I ain't doing it no more. But you want the business. Man, but you want the freedom. So the crazy part is, we put all this work into stuff. We put all this work into people, only to turn around and do it again with the possibility of getting hurt and frustrated again. Because what happens is when you get the marriage, when you get the relationship, it don't stop. Because you have to understand that everybody grows at different times, at different levels. And so you have to be patient in the pause. So when they're doing their process and you may be processing a different way, can you have enough patience in the pause to allow them to go through their process? Like bro said, they complete. Because if not, then it's like peeling the scab off, and it doesn't completely heal. You know, and it's a sign that something happened there. Yeah, it's a scar. It's a sign of something happened there. But at the end of the day, if you keep picking at it, it never fully heals. So if you keep omitting the process, if you keep omitting the pause, then you never get prepared or positioned. Because what's going on is about positioning. And old boy said something. Who was that? Oh my God. Cam. Oh, Cam Newton said something so powerful today. I was like, boy, this is bigger than sports. That's why I need to start consistently doing that. Because when I be putting my clips up when I'm speaking to teams, I'm gonna start putting it's bigger than sports, so people just don't go bypass it. Right. Because there's so many lessons you can learn off of. So many. Cam said something. He said something so powerful today, bro. I was listening to him while I was working. He said basically this right here. He said like with these college athletes with the football and stuff. He said the main goal is not for you to come to a college and start. He said the main goal is to go to the league. Because he was talking about Archie Manning, and he was saying how he was behind the quarterback that they had. But he said, but they was being intentional with him. They're preparing him for the ride. So it was like he said, but what happened? The kids basically the kids they want to come in. Oh, if I can't play, I'm not going there. He said, but what's the end goal, dog? He said the end goal ain't for you to come into a college program and start. He said the end goal is for you to be in the league 3 years from now. He said, so you're coming in with the wrong intent. He said, so therefore you get involved in schools, teams, and systems that they plugging you in, but they ain't positioning you for the 3-year haul position you for the league. I was like, boy, this joker has said a whole mouthful here. So we're making decisions for the moment, but we're not making decisions for the lifetime.
Because they're focused on the payout and not the deposit.
Facts.
The deposit is more important than the payout.
It is. Because the deposit affects the payout.
Exactly. Facts. Because if you become a depositor, a contributor, then that means when you need to have something on the other side, it's going to always be there. When you need to go, you're going to get there. Because you done took the time in between the gap to develop the mindset as, I'm going to always do this. I'm going to always do this. I'm going to always do this. I'm not going to be a consumer. I'm going to be a producer. The producer is the depositor. The consumer is the one who always looking for the payout, the fun stuff, the superficial stuff.
Right. Surface stuff.
The surface stuff. That's why you can't rush somebody's in-between moments. Let them go through. Like I say, dog, I got friendships 10, 15, 20 years. Sometimes some of my homeboys, dog, they don't call me every week. They don't. I got one homeboy right now. We talk like every 2 weeks. I might call him. He might call me. I might call him. He might call me. He might call me for a month straight. I might call him for a month straight. But it's never on the lines of, bro, you don't call me, bro. It's one way. No, bro. When you call me, then we'll tighten back up. Let me tell you something. I had my son when I was 21 years old. He was born February 4th, 2009. Me and his mom separated cause I had him out of wedlock. I would never do that again. Me and my son's mother, peep the language, right? You gotta show it's different levels. My baby mom, no, my son's mom, straight up. Me and my son's mom separated in October 2009. She was like, "Yo, I can't do this whoop the whoop." She didn't really fight for it. I can't do this by this squaze. So she said, "I'm moving to my mom's house." That weekend, she packed everything up. I drove her and my son to Hinesville, Georgia. I stayed the night and drove back to Brandon, Florida, and then moved everything out our apartment by myself. The only person who helped me was the drug dealer downstairs, and he saw me struggling with the couch. He put the blunt down. He hit the Crown Royal and helped me move the couch out. True story, right? True story. So my son was what? February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. That's trauma. So my son 8 months old and he gone for the moment. That did something to my mind, bro. I was like, man, if I can do without my flesh and blood, I can do without anybody. It took years to get back right. So you don't know what people going through in their head, dog. You don't know why a person real introverted. You don't know why a person don't pick the phone up. Don't be like, you don't pick, God, you don't pick the. You call them.
You don't know
I got 15-year friendships that go back and forth.
Your phone work two ways.
Last time I checked.
That's what I always say.
I got one homie, dog. I promised like 5 years straight I was always calling him. But when we talk, I never want like, bro, I always call you, man. You'll never call me. Bro, bro, what you doing? I'm at Walmart cooling, where you at? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and then if flip-flop, he might call me for a few months. I might call, you know what I'm saying? Cooling, where you at? Man, I'm at the mall. My girl got me in the store. You know what I'm saying? Just something like that. You feel me? So, don't rush nobody process, man. Don't rush nobody process.
Yeah.
That's true, man.
Yeah, don't rush nobody process, man. Let them be who they gonna be, so you can really get the real essence of that person, man. You feel me?
Because if you're not careful, your impatience will rob them of their preparation. If you're not careful, you'll disrupt whatever God's trying to do, whatever's need to be exposed. Because if not, it's gonna come off way worse than the position from where you were before. So you have to be careful. And bruh, y'all said a mouthful. Like, I think this would be dope to give them practical wisdom that I gotta hear in my notes. 4 things. And one of them with the trust in the processes, I think is very important. But one is stay faithful, be consistent with what God already told you. 2, refocus. Use the delay to refine your vision or your skill set, whatever that looks like. 3, serve. Often the doorway to promotion is through humility and helping others. I can't tell you how many times, even with y'all, just saying y'all, the way y'all serve, how many opportunities we got through serving and wasn't looking for nothing in return. And then the 4th one,
countless.
Countless. You know what I'm saying? And we still doing that to this day.
Countless.
And the 4th, which I think is the most important, because I think when you understand this, it'll shift your mindset to where you at and the why. Trust the process. Delay can mean alignment, not abandonment.
Ooh.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I don't deal with nothing with if your face and your name is attached to the word abandonment, you gotta go. You gotta go.
Yep.
You gotta, because you will damage a person. You will damage a person. I don't know anyone who has been walked away from be like, I'm straight. No, it don't work like that. Everybody who I know who looked at a person and they expected them to be there, bro. Even the Dr. Seuss book, the little chicken, Are You My Mama? The bird was like, hold on, where my mama went? The bird was like, what the bird did, the bird went to all type of stuff. to try to find his mama.
You my mama. Do I look like your mama?
That stuff has no effect.
Right.
It
It do, bro.
Right.
You gotta look in that stuff you ain't supposed to be looking at because your behind is not there.
Right.
I'm having an identity crisis because you walked away, you're not there.
Yeah. Trauma.
It's trauma.
Yeah.
So don't be talking about call me next week. Call me.
Hey, you know how that conversation gonna go? I'll peep you later.
You know what I'm saying?
That's good though. I like that alignment and not abandonment. That's good.
Yeah, because a lot of times we get those conscrewed. And like when you said back in the beginning, the common denominator is you.
Yeah.
So you have to sit with yourself and be like, what is going on? Even when I was going through my courting process, I'm like, okay, God, what am I doing? One, for me to be attracted to these type of women, and two, to draw these type of women. Like, I'm making a decision, so it's just like, okay, God, what am I doing wrong?
Help me.
It's like, help me.
No.
Me.
And
Heal me.
help and heal me.
I gotta get this right.
And it was, I'm telling you, and it was one of the most profound things. Like, it's not you.
Yeah.
Like, you're willing to stick in and stay there and willing to be like, okay, how can we fix this? And once that like clicked and shifted, I was just like, okay, that makes more sense. And now I know how to approach things. Now I know how to discern even more, because that's what it boils down to. And you like, I've had friends for years that I was just like, man, I never thought in a million years. It's like, we don't even talk. There ain't no bad blood. It's just we don't talk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And it's just like, but you do have the ones, that connection that when you link up, it's like you never dropped off.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's give and giving, because we understand what's understood ain't got to be explained.
Right. Right.
I mean, that's just what it is.
And bro, y'all were blessed because y'all had two parents in the home.
Yeah, I always say that.
Yeah, so
I always said that. Bro.
Always.
Yeah, so my dad, I didn't grow up, you know what I'm saying, 1 o'clock with my dad, like me and Pop. So with my dad, what I did was, when he would come scoop me up, I acted like I was just with him yesterday. And therefore, I never held nothing against him. My mama didn't talk trash about him. He didn't talk trash about her. And my dad did me the same way. He scooped me up like I was with him yesterday. And then when we was together, we just worked out whatever we worked out in those moments. You know what I mean? Like, we just stayed in the present moment. So, and I have the pleasure of living with Rank, you know what I'm saying, for years. But I do the same thing. When I don't get around my son, I'm not going to act like I don't know who you are. I know who you are. And talk about alignment, that gap. It's powerful. Even though my son is not in the same household with me 100% of the time. But because I strive to submit myself to the Lord and I'm aligning myself with him, he's doing the same exact thing to my son. The same thing. Now, my son is going to have to cultivate his own walk. Right. But as far as protection and guidance and wisdom and stuff like that, because of I'm shaving off certain generational curses, it's not going to hinder and touch my son from a state away. Therefore, now one thing I can say about Faith, she'll be like, said, you do a great job with your son. She's like, how you are, you stay in Florida, he in Georgia, and y'all relationship is like, she said, I know guys who not even like that with their kid, and they stay in the same city. I said, because I put work in. I put work in with his mom. I put work in with God. I put work in that gap within myself. There's no, if I don't have more money when you see me, I need to have more character. You need to see more Jesus. You need to see more clarity, more freedom. I gotta have something to offer you when you come across this table. You know what I mean? So that gap is really important, dog. Don't let nobody hinder your process in the gap, including yourself first. Deal with yourself. so people can eat off your table when they come across you.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah. I like something Ink said, and I did it when I reposted the video because I did it in one of my messages. He said, "Can you be committed to the process without being emotionally attached to the results?"
Jesus.
Can you be committed to the process without being emotionally attached to the results? Meaning, are you doing it just because you feel like it? Because what happens when you got to do it when you don't feel like it?
Man, that's one of the hardest things.
Because one of the hardest things to do, especially when you're in that gap, is doing what you know to do with no results coming. Doing what you know to do, and you still getting the same response from your spouse, just like on Fireproof.
Yep.
When they was going through in their marriage,
Man.
and he kept telling them, well,
Going
you
through
need
the
to do
ringer.
this, and the wifey was cold. I'm talking about ice stone cold. Wifey wasn't giving no play at all. He kept going back, frustrated, angry, mad, just don't know what else to do. You still got to be consistent. I still need you to do this. I still need you to do that. Even though she's responding this way, I still need you to do this. What are you doing in that gap? Can you consistently do the thing that you know to do, even when it don't feel good?
You remind me of a situation I was in with the previous. And I remember we had a conversation, and I was like, I'm not going to allow what I'm not getting to change who I am. I'm still going to love her. I'm still going to serve her. We still going to plan. We still going to go out on dates. It's like, my vertical with the Lord was so crazy. It's like, Lord, you need to talk to your daughter. Like, and like, bro, like, I kid you not, every single time, and it is with a genuine and sincere heart, every single time, it got brought back realigned. But it's not just from that alone. You still have to put in the work to get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no negating real life application. There's no negating that. It's a combo. It's a combo.
Yeah, but the vertical, bro. I don't think guys understand. Cause you know guys always talking about females, but bro, guys be tripping.
Yeah.
We do. We be tripping sometimes. So a lot of the times. So we do. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You ain't lying, bro.
Women not perfect. Yeah, women not perfect, but guys, most of the time we be tripping in a lot of aspects. So I don't think guys understand how important that vertical, your relationship with God literally will help you with the relationship with your woman, because it's certain things that Jesus would teach you that can't come from another man.
Right.
Especially when it comes to a person who he created. You know what I mean? So he know things about her parents don't know.
Right.
He know things about her that she don't know. And he will position your mind to respond to things that the normal man will flip out. But because you've been in your bag with God, you will respond to her a different type of way. I done been there before. I done it before. Now, if they vertical off, then they vertical just off. You can't do nothing about that. But you can do something about how you respond to your woman. You know what I mean? So I don't think guys understand. Like, bro, you gotta be in your bag. Like, you gotta know that you are a provider. Is more than just putting money and food on the table. It's more than that. What about when the money run low? Can you still provide security for your woman? Can you still make her feel like she is on top of the world? Can you still can you still
Can you still give without receiving?
Can you still? And
So-
that comes from not pulling on your own strength.
Yeah.
Can you be vulnerable with her when you're afraid to? When you need to? That stuff comes from God, bro. Because we won't say nothing. We won't say nothing. But when you need to say something, bro, that comes from God. Because God be like, you need to tell her, and it'll be a feeling, because you'll be feeling something, and you'll be around your girl, and then you'll be about to break. That's that. Talk to her. That stuff comes from God, bro. Intimacy is highly important. The foundation of intimacy with your woman comes from your intimacy with the Lord, bro. Straight up.
1000%.
It's very powerful, dog.
Yeah.
You ain't lying, bro.
I mean, we ain't mean to go there, Mike. We just had to, you know what I'm saying? He had tapped in.
It was a wrap. Said if you
It
did that,
it is what it is.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? You a veteran. You've been doing your thing for how
Yeah,
many years you been?
That's 28 next
28.
month.
28.
That's married. No, wait a minute. Hold up. Let me see. No, 26 married, 28 together. There we go. Yeah, and that's why I say it's a constant, bro. It's a constant. It's a constant reinventing of yourself. It's a constant compromise. It's constant. So when this generation keeps coming with this false mentality of she got to be already this, he got to already be that, you already doomed. You're gonna be single for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Or a long time. Because it's a building process as long as both of y'all got breath in your body.
It is.
It's a building process from day one. It's a building process from the dating portion to the married portion to now married, now what next? Because you still, the Bible says that you are to become one, which means you don't become without the becoming.
Exactly.
And so everybody wants to come without becoming. They just want to come. They just want to come. There's no becoming. So you got however old you are, of years of doing stuff your way, not having to do certain things, and now that changes, and it's a constant gelling. It's just like even in business, bro. It's. I was sharing with them one of the things I was talking about in leadership. I was saying knowing how to build relationships is so key and important.
It is.
I said the depth of your leadership is the what did I say? The depth of your leadership is determined by the height of your influence. You don't have no influence, then that's going to determine how people going to follow you. If you don't have no influence at all, then you ain't going to have no leadership abilities at all. So it's a constant ways of how to deal with people. I say the people that know how to build relationships, those are the most like people.
Yep.
Because they get people. And I said, and that's something I pride myself on. I said, because of the gift that and the anointing that God has placed on my life. I'm intentional when it comes to building relationships. And then when it comes to getting involved with certain people and stuff, it's like if it don't work, it don't work. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, but it's that's why I'm a principle guy, man. Strategies is a dime as a dozen. It may work, it may not work. Principles always work.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, when you have standards and morals, then you got to stand in the face of fire when everybody else is running out the building.
That's true, because it's gonna be tested.
The fireman, everybody else is running out the building while he running in to save somebody. Sometimes your principle you might be the very one that your own principle saved. When everybody else will respond a certain way, but because of your principle, you don't. That's deep, dog.
I know.
That's deep. That's deep.
But going back to what you said though in that, and this is why when stuff happens, Dub told me, he said, bro, don't let whatever that you gained, don't let that leave. And you had told me, you was like, bro, don't let your heart turn hard. My stepmom was like, don't let your heart turn hard. My homegirl V, shouts out to V, shouts out to Juan. They was like, yo, don't let your heart turn hard, because when stuff and my homeboy Wook, Wook was like, yo, bro, don't let your heart turn, because when people come across, if your heart all jacked up, now you can't discern. You can't discern, you can't receive. It could be something like, hey, that's you push stuff away, opportunities. And Diamond told me that too. He was like, bro, don't be all like that to where it's somebody good, something good opportunity come out, then you so locked in to where you can't be like, okay, let's make a move. You know what I mean? So I appreciate everybody.
Keep it idle.
Yeah. I mean, one of the and they had a guest speaker Sunday, and That is one of the hardest things to do is to speak life to somebody else when you dying inside.
Oh man, that happened, bro.
For real.
Do you know how I feel to be leading a connect group and
Dying.
grown men coming to you and saying, "Oh my bro, my wife, we getting better. Thank you for the stuff." I'm like, bro, I was crying before I got here. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm heartbroken right now, but I'm glad that I'm helping you with your
Right.
because even though the heart may be broken, it doesn't change that. Like, it doesn't change what's right and what's true. It don't change it.
Exactly.
Right. Because at the end of the day, broken crayons still color.
Yeah, it don't change anything. Like, you know what I mean? So, but in that gap, that's why you gotta let that time to breathe. You gotta have that time, bro.
Yeah.
You got to have that time. You gotta check in with you first, and then where you supposed to be at, you will get there. But I guarantee, if you do slide up there, your butt gonna go push right back because you're not gonna be ready because you didn't do what was necessary in the gap.
Yeah. That's good, man. This was another good one.
One more game.
Another good one. And Blueprint Nation, man. With that being said, Dub ended. I'm glad you ended up with those points, man. That was dope.
Hey, that was solid, yo.
That was solid. Was something I was looking at that I want to read before we get up out of here. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Okay. Well, while you do that,
Did you have something else?
no, I was just gonna say with Broski, that connect group couldn't have happened at a better time for you. For one, it kept you afloat, it kept you seeking, and God continued to use you for others, even when you couldn't get any results from your own situation, how you desired. So that's why it's important to have your people around you, people that can pour into you, people that can spot things without you even having to say a word, and they just go in for you. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was God's way of keeping you afloat also. You know what I'm saying? You were still getting fed without realizing you were still getting fed, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the testimonies from it
Oh,
show
yeah.
you that God will use what is broken and what is felt like is hopeless, still yearning for that very thing, like you say, companionship. But he's showing you how to move through the pain, through the hurt. So I'm proud of you, man.
I appreciate it.
Proud of you.
And it's not all bad because you know,
not at all.
people learn and grow, and I'm still learning and growing. She's learning and growing. Like I told this girl the other day, I was like, man, because she got her own journey. You know what I mean? I say, man, when she go through her tunnel and come out on the other side, I said that woman gonna be phenomenal. Straight up. You gotta speak life.
Thanks.
Straight up. You feel me?
Yeah, man. And then on that note, Blueprint Nation, hopefully you took a lot of notes, man. And we want to leave out with this here. Delay is not punishment, but it's positioning. It also builds character, and it also tests your faith. So, like bro said, what did God tell you in the first place? See, one time we get stuff. Sometimes he may tell you the beginning of a thing and you don't know the middle or the end. Sometimes he may give you the middle and you don't know the beginning or the end. Sometimes he may give you the end. So that's just how it is. He never gives you the full picture. But you gotta be able to stand the test of time. And some of the things that you can do as a child to you this week is look at areas in your life where you felt denied. Look in those areas and see what you can pull from it. And get better, don't get better. Because one thing that we just talked about is you don't want an opportunity to show up and you stuck on yesterday. You don't want opportunity to show up and you stuck on the feelings of what was. You don't want opportunity to show up and you didn't prepare yourself in the pause. Because the pause is where most of the preparation takes place. Like I always say, you can't tell an opportunity when to show up. You just got to be ready when it do. Y'all know how we like to get up out of here. Shoot for the top. because the bottom is way too crowded. And if you think different and be different, you have the opportunity to live different. And once again, we'll see you on the other side of Success. Blueprint Nation, we'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.
Shout out to the squad, we been on the grind. We bridging the gap, lead them to the vibe. Shout out to the squad, we been on the grind.
We bridging the gap, lead them to the whoa. Ain't gonna be get ready like a monsoon. Living water in my life, flooding like a typhoon. Hop in on that, hop in that boy. Put away China stand. That's a mandate, boy. Hop in ready, bombs over Baghdad and Gilly, yeah. $1 million worth of gang like Gilly from Philly, yeah. The boss have it, golden, you know what they after. Giving the menu selection of the Solomon platter. Interpret the dream like Joseph in the real-time fashion. A national lampoon, that's a comedy chapter. Standing fake up in the plastic of the mannequin challenge. Trying to flex the poker face, and they stick in our hand. That's flavor. Thinking we robbing, we basking with flavors. Sewing up the body, making sure you sit at the staple. We're grateful, commission to go and lead the doghouse. This what happens when you unleash and let the squad out.
Shout out to the squad, we been on the grind. We bridging the gap, lead them to the vibe. Shout out to the squad, we been on the grind.
We bridging the gap, lead them to the vine. Truth be told, I will never be a half-stepper. I'm certified in the faith, check my track record. What would you expect from Moses? You know my pedigree. Sick that God's chosen, what he's spoken is my weaponry. Movements, kids, the rap stay hitting on. No room for the bridge, the gap ain't big enough. 14 to 40, no grind, no glory. Get it out the mud, that's the gist of the story. Feeling like Elijah, calling down fire. On top of Baal's prophets, the situation's dire. Serving the Most High, ain't none higher. Swinging our swords, cutting heads off the hydras. Enemies and giants, Judas and Goliath. Wolves in the distance, but God's right beside us. Fighting the good fight, don't it feel exciting? If you ask me how we did it, this how I'm replying.
Shout out to the squad, we been on the grind. We bridging the gap, lead them to the vibe. Shout out to the squad, we been on the grind. We bridging the gap, I've been doing this for a long time. Long grind, give him glory cause he on time. For over 24 years I've been on go, moving in silence, but believe me, I've been on mine. Put on the gas as I'm dashing through traffic and lane after lane. I've been switching the tactics to aim at your brain, trying to put you up on game cause the truth still remain. If you ain't claiming his name, then it's poof, you inflamed. But till he come, I'm moving with a crew that spit ether. Street sweeper, spinning the block with 6 speakers, toting the rock like dope in the hood. Like Paul and Peter, we feeding the flock with hope for the hood. Like Mama Rita, so come and get it. But in order to be with it, boy, you have to learn to live it. Revisit what was written in scripture, because the only way you in a man is to be committed. Else you die, represent a man. Shout out to the squad, we been on the grind. We bridging the gap, lead them to the vibe. Shout out to the squad, we been on the grind. We bridging the gap, lead them to the vibe.
Shout out to the squad, we been on the grind. We bridging the gap, lead them to the vine. Finna to the vine, pay attention to the signs. I ain't checking for no op, I ain't got the time. Jesus over everything. Word to life is something like put that on everything. Guaranteed to bring the flavor like a chicken wing. If you ain't yelling Christ the King, what you really? Well, never mind, I ain't really listening. Walking in the light, I'm really glistening. Dishing out the game, you should really pay attention. See, winning is the mission. Tea with Martinelli sipping. I'm just trying to keep it real. You can say I'm going fishing. Real man, Rick. Tell that flesh to go to bed. You been coming for my neck, but I'm aiming at your head. And I gotta thank God for the blood Jesus shed. Cause his love, that's amazing. Peter Parker in the red, so amazing. In his presence, I ain't worried what a fed do. Let's give it time, and I'm just doing what he said do. My little cousin, that pound, he ain't never coming home. I can't stand how that sound gon' toss it up. They can get these hands gon' mouse it up. Better see me slave, I know they hate to see me bossing up. Sacrifice, that's already made, go ahead, cross it up. He put out his grace, she already know I had to sauce it up. Breathe.
Shout out to the squad, we been on the grind. We bridging the gap, lead them to the vibe. Shout out to the squad, we been on the grind. We bridging the gap, lead them to the vibe.